Right, well, yeah. Basically, this tile was definitely broken. That tile I didn't realise was broken as well, so I've replaced both of them, and it looks ridiculous. And I've tried cleaning up this one. It's no good. Yeah, that's going to drive me absolutely mad, knowing that that's there. Now, over the back, the tiles aren't quite so dirty, so it wouldn't matter too much, but yeah, the fact that the sticky's pretty much gone on the back of these tiles as well, it's already lifting. I don't know if you can see it just there, and then it's lifted here slightly, so these are no good. So basically that means I've got to redo the floor. So let's try something a little different, shall we? And I don't know if I can do this, but we'll see if we can do a click cut. No, try again. I wish it was that easy. This has been a pig. Yeah, now I get to show you how much of a bugger it was. Okay, old floor's up. I've now got to spend an hour or so scraping away this old adhesive and the silicone and the remnants of tiles from around the edge. Done that little section there, it's coming up okay. I'll give it a quick clean down as well, and then we'll start putting the new floor in. Gone with it's alright, it's going dark. Gone with the laminate that matches absolutely nothing in the house, because why wouldn't you? There was a darker oak that I was looking at, but it was a bit too close to the grey that's in there. And I've also spent a few quid, get some underlay foam as well, just to make it a bit more comfortable, and also should keep some of the heat in there in the winter and absorb some heat in the summer, hopefully. You never know. But yeah, this stuff is about 25 quid a pack. It's the stuff that just clicks together in theory. And I did some very rough maths, and I should need 17 total lengths to do the entire thing, but they're not quite wide enough. So that would be roughly 1.5 plank per length. So I ended up getting 3 packs. It was the cheapest way I could do it. It's frustrating because when you look at the instructions and things, it's like, how much do you need for a room that's this big or this big? And you look at some of the cheaper laminate and it's like, you'll need 6 packs, and that doesn't make it cheaper then, does it? So we've gone with this to see where we can get. There's 9 in a pack, which should be 18 plus 9 halves essentially. So I should have just enough and have very little left over. Then the gap that's, when you lay one of these down, it's about half a metre, these are 1.2. So I should have like that much left from each plank of the ones that I cut. But yeah, we'll start getting that down and see how it looks in a minute. Right, following day, bit of daylight. Going to start scraping, just taking the floor. This place has been getting colder as the more I've taken out. So as I've emptied it, it's gotten really cold. Taking the floor out, it's dropped it by at least a degree or two. So it's really bitterly cold out here, to the point that I can almost see my breath. When I came out here earlier for a cigarette, you could see my breath. So the aim of this morning is get all the old adhesive up from along there, get this floor properly swept. Hopefully by end of play today I'll be able to get this new floor down. So yeah, this is got me tablet out so I can have some music rather than listen to the rain on the ceiling, on the roof. So we'll crack on, get some of this adhesive up, and the next time you see this I'll have started putting the floor down. Well, nothing's ever easy. Cleaning down these edges, get some kind of glue plus any silicone. And then this section, I was trying to scrub this down, And it looks like the silicon's gone on this piece of trim. So the question now becomes, do I tear it out and put it back on once I've got the floor down, or do I leave it in place, put the floor up to that, and then fix it after? I think we know which way I'm erring, which is pull it off and clean up that section. I mean, the lower this lip, it's dirty, but it's just dust, I think, looking at it, because I give that a quick brush and it's come up. So I think take this off, give it a good dust and scrub with just a hard brush along the length, then put I don't know if I want to put that back in or if I want to put the floor in. Is it plastic? Yeah, it's plastic. And I think that gap under there is just a bit too much. If I have that in, at least I've got a measurement for the floor. So I think I've got to focus on putting this bit in first. Look at that. That's not good. That's old. And this discolouring on here, it looks like that's just the silicone as well. So we should be able to scrub that up. So yeah, rather than focusing on getting the new floor down, looks like we're going to focus on this bit. Fun. Took about half a tube of bloody no more nails. I will go over it with silicone. The plan is, once the floor's down, I'm not going to put any stripping around it. I'm just going to lightly silicone, that's better, around the edge. You're not going to really notice it because everything's white. And then I can also at the same time silicone up the walls in the corners. So when I come to do that, I can go across the top of that with a bead as well. It's cleaned up quite nicely. There's a couple of scuff marks which I just can't be bothered to get out. But it gives me a baseline for where the floor will sit. So now we're going to start measuring up underlay, get the first panel down, and then see what sort of bit we need to cut together there. This is going to be interesting. All right, I thought I had a problem for a minute. This is one pack. It's awful to work with because it's got a fake tongue and groove effect in it, which means that they don't line up very well. And because they were literally the cheapest laminate flooring you can get, they're also a bit naff. I thought, because this is one pack, that it wasn't going to be big enough. But I just remeasured it, and that is roughly 118 centimetres. It's a 3.5 metre room, which is, so call it, well, not quite 120, 240, 360 minus 6, because that's what that is. So yeah, this will just do it. Literally just. As long as I can get them to bloody behave, because these are terrible. I mean, look at that gap. It went really well. The first one went down all right. Then it just got progressively worse. So I've had to lift it up twice. So and I'm probably going to have to lift it up again. The big worry, well, it's not really a worry, it's just my lack of ability, is that because I'm having to take lips off the ends, I end up with a big gap like that. So I'm probably going to get some kind of trim, because that's just a bit too much to silicone. But I'm trying to figure out if I want to butt it against that wall or that wall. That wall's already got trim on it, so I might butt it up to that wall. So that means I've got to take it all up again. Yeah, it looks better being lined up to that wall, but I'm thinking it's probably safer because of damp ingress and stuff, potentially. It's safer to butt it up to that wall. But yeah, we're about a third of the way through it then. That's one pack. Got to relay all of it again though, but it's one pack. And I need a piece of trim. Okay. Fun. Okay, so it's about here that I've lost my rag with it. It's like every fifth set of planks just goes very wrong. And that has a knock-on effect. So I've had to relay the first 5 like 3 times. This section's definitely gone down twice, and now this section's misbehaving already, and I'm 3 boards in. Not much to do now. I am on my last pack of boards though. This one wasn't behaving, so I've just left it aside for now. And then there's a couple of middle bits where I've cut the ends. So if I run short, at least I should have enough middle bits to do the very back. This stuff is awful, I got to be fair. Most click-paste laminate flooring is terrible. For some reason the No More Nails isn't working. It's just, I give up, stuff it. But yeah, look, I mean, like, look at the panel gaps, it's terrible for some reason. I'm going to have a break because this is driving me up the wall and there's nothing I can do about it. It should just slot in, lock down. That's how it should be. It is not. And I think it's to do with this bevel that they've put on this edge here. Means that all it's got to lock in with is that little lip there. And it's just not enough. As soon as you put one board down, you're fine. You put the next one in and then that one pops out. So you have to then redo that, then do that one again. So that one then sits fine. But then this one causes everything to pop up. It's awful. Cannot recommend. I should have spent an extra £3-4 each pack, but I mean, as is, it's £100 for a floor. That's terrible. I don't want to spend £120 on a floor that'd probably be just as rough to work with. But up to about here, so roughly halfway, it's not bad. Finally got it sat down after like 3 hours work. And now I'm just struggling with this bit, and then the last bit's always fun because you've got to cut it, in theory, you've got to cut it to the length as well, the width as well as it's a thing. So I've got to cut it that way as well as that way. Yeah, that's probably closer. But yeah, nah, this has just been frustrating. So, cup of tea and give it a minute. Well, yeah. It's in, it's down. The one thing I haven't done yet, which I will do. This should... Oh yeah, that works. Okay, that's basically what I wanted. That's fine. And then, as I say, down here, workbench. Yeah, it's awful. Genuinely awful. The problem sort of starts here-ish and then goes all the way down, and then right at the end it's just a nightmare. But it's down. It doesn't look too bad. Obviously, I've got to seal up around the edges. I'm in an R in now whether I want to lift it all up and butt it up against that side or not. But yeah, so still waiting on the weather to turn because we've still got to do these windows. And then I'm waiting on the material to insulate these, and it's going to be removable. And then roof panels, lighting, stuff like that. But this has been a pig. I have hated pretty much every second of this. And it's taken me, well, it's a 3.5 metre room, long, 1.6 that way. It shouldn't take any time at all, but this has taken me about 5 hours. If you include the trip to go and buy the stuff as well. You know, because that's half an hour of wandering around figuring out which one you want, plus figuring out where the insulation is and which one of those you want, cost effective and all that. It's weird because I got like 9.5 meters of insulation, and it was like £28, but 5.5 meters was 20. So it was easier to get that because then hopefully when I get to do the bathroom floor, I'll be able to put some of that down. Should have enough for that little bit, but if not, I'll just go out and get a bit more. But yeah, I couldn't tell you if it's warmer in here or not now because I'm sweating and cursing and everything else. But yeah, the next step is get those bottom 2 windows sealed up properly, get the insulation installed on there. Then I can order the workbench, the shelves. Then I can worry about getting the rest of it done in due time. That bottom section is important to get done because the amount of stuff that's in the house that will come out here, I need the storage. And then I can worry about roof and lighting and stuff. At least now it's fairly easy to clean up, other than in the grooves, because it's some kind of stupid tongue and groove effect, but it's really not. But yeah, it's down. It's relatively flat. I'm not overly worried. Down the bottom there, I'm not gonna use it, but this end by the door, that's pretty much done. Gonna get myself a little mat or something just to go in the doorway, and then cardboard to get rid of and stuff. But yeah, this has been an adventure in laminate, which, this is awful laminate. Laminate flooring is not good, but it can be very easy. This one was a pig to work with. A little room like this should have taken me 2 hours at best. That's really loud. But yeah, that was an adventure in flooring. That's another job ticked off the list in here. Not a very good job, admittedly, but it's done, so I haven't got to worry. Anyway, that'll do you. This is quite a long one, I think. Speak soon. See you later.